see if I can get this thing to work. Sorry, I'm trying to... Oh my goodness. Music is playing. Everything's going on. I need to push buttons. Hello. This is Jason with Akers Pest Control. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I am late, but I am here. I am not dead. I am alive. But it is late. It is late. I am late. I am very, very late. But I am still here. It was a late day. My wife made homemade pizza for dinner. That's like live stream night. That's what we eat, pizza. She makes homemade pizza, and it was delicious. It was great. It took a little while tonight to get everything together. But I'm here. I'm still here. It's late, but I'm here. So, let's get to this. I've got a load of questions already on the channel. Matthew asks... he says, I spray Crossfire twice 2 weeks apart now. How long should it take for bites to stop? It was a small infestation. 2 weeks apart. So if you spray twice in a month, is that what you're trying to say? I'm assuming it's twice in a month. It can take a little while for all the bed bugs to die off, yes. Is it a waste of money to buy a mattress, box spring encasements? Yes, it is. Let me rephrase that. It's not a waste of money. It's not intended to get rid of bed bugs. You cannot get rid of bed bugs with a mattress encasement. You can't. You can protect your mattress. So let's say you go to the mattress store and you buy yourself like a brand new Tempur-Pedic mattress, and you've spent like $3,000 or $4,000 on this bed, and you don't want bed bugs to get on your new mattress. You take and you wrap it with a mattress encasement, not a plastic piece of poop, okay? Plastic encasements are no good. You want to get something that's nylon, something that's thick, and that will protect your bed from a bed bug infestation in the future. Now, it doesn't mean the bed bugs won't live on it. They will live on a mattress encasement just as much as they'll live on a mattress, but they won't live on your mattress. So, yeah, and you can take it off and you can wash it. So that's what a mattress encasement is good for. It's not really good to eliminate bed bugs because, truthfully, there are some mattress encasements out there that bed bugs can actually bite through. So you could have bed bugs inside the mattress encasement biting you through the encasement and then laying eggs and perpetuating their wonderful life cycle right there in the bed, and you wouldn't be able to get to them. So, use them for mattress protectors after the bed bugs are gone, Kristen. That's right. That's right. Wes asks, what's the topic of discussion? Whatever you want. I know that I call my show the Bedbug Show, and a lot of people come on and they ask questions about bed bugs and stuff like that. That is fine. You can ask me questions about cockroaches or silverfish or rats or mice, termites. We're right in termite season now. If you want to ask about that, you can. Mosquitoes, ticks, whatever. You pick. You pick. The audience picks what we talk about, always. It's very candid, very open discussion. The only time that I usually will talk about something first is if the title of the video is named something like, I don't know, Bedbug Show Live Roaches, or the Bedbug Show Live Silverfish, or whatever. And that'll be the topic of discussion for that night. But that's only if I get a lot of questions throughout the week on my YouTube comments about those specific things. Let's see, would you... He's being loud up there, Alicia Joe.
Yes, he is.
Man, I got all kind of questions coming out of Matthew today. Would you ever spray without actually seeing a bed bug but confirm bites by a dermatologist? Okay, so dermatologists cannot diagnose bed bug bites. That's not possible. No doctor can without the bug itself. But I've treated houses that had bed bugs all the time. There are some companies that will not, that absolutely will not do it. But I've done it. I've done it as a preventative. I've actually done houses that swear up and down they have bed bugs, couldn't find any bed bugs at all. And as soon as I spray, within a couple weeks, they've had dead bed bugs all over the floor. So they don't just live on the bed. They don't just live on the furniture. They live, I mean, they live all over. So me. Let's see. What's your opinion on Allery's mattress cover? I don't have an opinion on mattress covers. I don't like mattress covers. I don't use them. I would not. The only mattress cover I have on my bed is a mattress, squishy, soft mattress protector. All right, let me explain to you. I am a dad. I have 4 children. All right, 3 of which have slept in the bed with me and my wife. All right, you sleep in the bed with a baby, and the baby pees, and it leaks out of the diaper, and it gets all over your bed and soaks into your nice brand new Tempur-Pedic mattress. That's nasty. Can't do that. So I put a mattress cover, a nice soft cushy mattress cover. I don't get the plastic ones. I don't want to feel like that I got bedwetting problems. All right. It's a protector for my mattress. It keeps my mattress protected from urine. All right. My baby's pee the bed. All right. Finley's 1.5 years. Charlie is 4, and sometimes he has accidents too, even though he's 4 years old. You know, 4-year-olds, they do that sometimes. And if they come in and have a nightmare and they want to sleep beside me, I let them, because I love my children. And if they have a problem that night, I don't want it all over my bed. That's the only reason I buy a mattress protector. If you don't have children laying in the bed, I don't blame you if you don't want a mattress protector. If you want to be nice and cushy and comfy in your bed, sleeping like normal, then you do that. That's what you should do. Don't worry about bed bugs. Kill the bed bugs. You treat your mattress. Treat your mattress with Crossfire, tempered, something like that. Treat your bed so that the bed bugs can't get to you. If they do try to get to you, they die. And you don't have to live like, you don't have to change your living habits. You don't have to change your sleeping habits. You don't have to change that just because a bed bug gets in the house. I have a complex bed bug case, but I think I need to do it via a call. Can I call on the show? Now, let me make sure I got my phone calls open, because I don't know if they're open. They're not. I'm glad you said something. Let me get everything open and running for you, and you can. I have a mattress heating pad. Would I be able to put it on after using Crossfire? I probably would not. I don't think heating pads get that hot. Not hot enough to degrade Crossfire, but I still probably wouldn't do it. I would probably wait until after the bed bugs were dead to use a heating pad. But that is a good question. I have never actually been asked that question before. But if it were me, I probably would not put a heating pad on the mattress. Now, if it were a heating blanket and you're going under it and the blanket was on top of you, then yeah, I'd probably do that, but not a mattress pad itself, because they do get really warm. I used to have a wonderful heating mattress pad. It was so nice. I just have to make sure all my settings... Oh, well, there's a call. Hello, this is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. Can I help you?
I probably would not put it.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
Hi, my name is Tim.
Okay.
And
hey, Tim.
I have a very complex bed bug problem I'd like to discuss with you.
Okay. Let's talk. What's going on?
I'll try to be very succinct. I wrote it down. I moved from California to Arizona to a vacant house that is in the middle of being renovated, that a friend owns, who is letting me stay there and help renovate it. It's a 2-bedroom, single wide.
Mm-hmm.
I went there 3 weeks ahead of the move. That was about a month ago, and slept in the bedroom on a used mattress and box spring that my friend bought. It's in good condition, but I woke up that night at 3 a.m. covered in bed bugs.
Oh, no.
I had a comforter on the bed. I got out of the bed. I stuffed the comforter was covered with bed bugs crawling all over it. I stuffed it into a big trash bag and ran it out into the front yard about 80 feet away from the house and just left it there. And then I took all the rest of the bedclothes one at a time and shook them off the porch. I didn't know there were bed bugs at the time. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So I shook all those bedclothes off, put them back on the bed. I didn't go back to sleep. I went to the hardware store The guy told me, I described the bugs. He didn't say what they were. He said, buy this. It's Ortho Home Defense Insect Killer, which I believe is a non-repellent pesticide. So
I don't know.
Ortho
usually is highly repellent.
Okay. So that's what I did. And I sprayed that all over the bedroom, the baseboards, where the walls meet the ceiling. I didn't do much with the box spring and nothing with the mattress. And that was the only time I slept in that bed in that room. Then I went back to California. And then 3 weeks later, that's about a week ago, I moved all my stuff to that house.
Right.
So now I have all my stuff in the house. The boxes are everywhere, including in that bedroom. And the boxes, I placed the boxes a few inches away from the walls everywhere because there were cockroaches there too, and I figured I was going to spray for them later. And I did not bring my mattress from California. I discarded that, and I've been sleeping in that bed that was already there. And so now I know that there are bed bugs.
Right.
And I put a moat, hoping to block them from climbing back onto the bed. And I didn't know that they would be in the box spring.
Oh, yeah.
Because I hadn't watched your videos yet. So after a couple of nights of getting bitten, I finally inspected the box spring and found the bed bugs there. And so by this time, which was 3 days ago now, I discovered you and ordered the Crossfire, which just came in last night. But I was desperate to kill the bugs in the box spring, so I sprayed that Ortho Home Defense all over the inside of the box spring, and hoping that would kill them, so I could sleep without getting bitten too much. Of course, that didn't work. Still getting bitten. I get welts from it. So that's kind of my story. So I have some questions written down, but I wondered if you had some comments first.
Well, you made a lot of typical mistakes at what most people do. DE, I would have never done that. That's actually laying it like you described is not correct with diatomaceous earth. You have to lay that so thin that you can't even see it for it to work. If the bugs see it, they just walk around it. Or off top of it. It won't hurt them. The thing is when you put out diatomaceous earth, because it's a powder, it sits on top of itself instead of in a thin layer. It actually compresses upon itself, and it makes almost like just like a mountain of flour that really won't hurt the bed bugs. They can climb over it. They can climb around it. It won't stick to them as well as if it's on a thin, dusty surface. But they can be repelled by it. They can try to avoid it because of what it is. But the bifenthrin, bifenthrin's in home defense, and the problem with bifenthrin is that it is a repellent and it can last up to 90 days. And bed bugs have got about between 60 and 80% resistance to bifenthrin because it's an extremely popular pesticide. Home defense has been around for over 20 years. It's something that a lot of people have in their house. A lot of people use it. A lot of people do exactly what you did. They go out to the store, they buy whatever they can, they come home and they spray it. And most of the over-the-counter pesticides that you buy at like Walmart or the hardware store or wherever, most of them have the active ingredient bifenthrin, either bifenthrin or deltamethrin, and they're very common, and a lot of people use them for bed bugs. But they really just don't work very well anymore. The bedbug population has since pretty much gotten resistant to it. The biggest issue is going to be using Crossfire after you've sprayed bifenthrin, because bifenthrin, because of its high repellency, the problem is that when you spray a non-repellent like Crossfire, where bugs don't recognize it, they don't crawl through it with the repellency. But the non-repellent, they don't know it's even there. But the problem is if you spray a non-repellent on top of a repellent pesticide, because you need to treat these things, the bugs aren't going to die if you don't. The bugs aren't going to crawl through it. Now, you can use Crossfire in your mattress or in your box spring, whatever, and it'll kill those bed bugs in there that are not dying from the bifenthrin because they're resistant. And it will kill them. Anything that they come into contact with, the bifenthrin, it will kill them. That will work. I mean, not bifenthrin, but Crossfire. It will work. But the problem is is that now that you've done it, it's going to be more difficult for you in the long term. You may have to treat once a month for maybe 3, maybe 4 months in order to get rid of the bed bugs. It's not impossible, but the houses I've gone back on retreatments are ones usually somebody has gone in and used something like Talstar, which is the same exact active ingredient. It's bifenthrin, and it can last up to 90 days.
Oh boy, I really screwed it up.
Well, I mean, you can still get rid of your bugs. It's not a problem. You will get rid of them, but it's going to take longer. It may potentially take longer. The way you described, as bad as they were in there, it sounds like it's going to take a little while to get rid of that issue, seeing what you've actually put out.
Yeah. So just treat it like you normally suggest, and just keep retreating it. How often should I?
So what I had happen. So I had this exact thing, except it was a professional. So I did a house in Waynesboro, Virginia. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from my house because I do long distance bedbug work all over Virginia. And so this guy called. He's out in Waynesboro, and I went out. I treated his house. He told me that a competitor had been out there 2 weeks before I arrived. And he used Talstar. That's what he used in the whole house to kill bed bugs because they had the paperwork right there. So I looked at the paperwork and I could tell what type of pesticide to use because you have to. In the state of Virginia, you have to disclose to your customer what pesticide you use inside their home. And so I was reading the paperwork and I'm like, well,
bifenthrin?
Yep, bifenthrin. And I told him, I said, that's why you're not getting rid of your bed bugs, because he sprayed a 90 residual pesticide in here. And so what happens with a highly repellent pesticide is that the bed bugs will get hungry. They will eventually crawl out and crawl through the chemical. They will eventually just do it because they're so hungry that they will risk death to get to you. But the problem is that because bed bugs have such a high resistance to bifenthrin, they will crawl through it, even though they don't want to. They don't like it. It won't kill them. So they can get to you, they can bite you, they can return back to where they're living, and they can lay eggs. Or they can stay where they're at, right where they're at, and lay eggs on a headboard or a footboard or a bed rail. And they may not want to crawl back down off of the bed if there is a barrier between the bed and the floor. And so you'll run into this problem where you could have more bugs on the bed than what you would have normally, because normally they would try to retreat from you and leave. But now that there's that barrier, they got their blood meal, they don't want to go back through it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I sprayed the box spring and I sprayed the bottom of the mattress, so they're probably happiest above the bottom of the mattress,
they're going to be
where I'm
happier
sleeping,
above the
right?
mattress where you are, because you're the blood, you're the food, and so they want to be where the food is. And they don't want to live around you, because the bed bugs don't like to really live near the host. They like to live close enough to where they can come out and get a blood meal, but then they want to be able to get away. They want to get away where they're safe, if you understand what I'm saying. So,
yep.
So what you do is you're going to have to treat once a month. You're just going to have to start treating and treat once a month. That way the ones that do come out looking for a blood meal get into the crossfire and actually die, where the bifenthrin won't kill them.
Okay. Maybe I can spray the crossfire a few inches above the bottom of my mattress, or all the way around.
I would spray everywhere you sprayed. I would do the whole job. I would pretend as if you didn't use the bifenthrin, and I would just go through and treat with crossfire and just do a full bed bug job and treat everything. A gallon of crossfire is going to go a long way. You'll notice when you start using it, it goes a long ways. You treat your cracks, crevices. Don't do a broadcast treatment. You don't spray the whole floor. You don't spray the whole wall. You just spray the cracks in places that they live, and you'll have leftover. You know, I would just go ahead and just do it. Just do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because
I'm probably
I
have to
will
buy
admit,
the whole big.
The thing is,
I'm probably have to buy the big whole gallon of
crossfire.
If I'm going to do this once a month.
That's a lot. I mean, a gallon of crossfire lasts me a year. No, you don't need that much. I would just get a couple bottles. Nah, that's like $300-$400. That's a lot of money. I would just get a couple bottles of crossfire and stick to that. And you may only need to treat twice. You know, the thing is home defense. Home defense is pretty weak. It's not mixed as strong as it should be for most of the bugs that are even on the label. It's and so it may not last as long as Talstar. You know, Talstar is something you have to mix yourself. You have to actually buy the concentrate and mix it. And you're going to mix it full strength if you mix it yourself. But if you buy it at the store, it's typically half strength or a quarter strength to what it should be on the actual label. Because the chemical manufacturers don't want you to accidentally poison yourself. So they give you something that's so weak that even if you try, good luck. You won't even be able to poison a bug with it. And so, so it's, I mean, it does work on some things, but bed bugs are not one of them. Or neither cockroaches either. It won't kill cockroaches either.
So you suggest I go ahead and keep buying the 13-ounce, $39 bottle?
I would just do it once a month.
Once a month, okay.
Yeah, just once a month. Don't go overboard, but once a month should be plenty.
So I have some more complications here. My friend who owns the house has been in here a lot, you know, doing renovation. He lives 2 miles away, so he's coming back and forth, back and forth. So I'm thinking he's probably infesting his own house now from here.
Maybe.
So do you think, should I first look for evidence of bed bugs before I spray in his house?
I mean, here's the thing, though. So I actually just went over this. I went to a lady's house yesterday, and I inspected her house. Now, she had actually bought furniture from a company and brought the furniture home. They actually installed it for her. They brought it to her house out of their moving truck, set it up in her house yesterday. So they brought the furniture. So what is today? Thursday. So 2 days ago, Tuesday, they delivered her bed, set it up. Yesterday, I went out and found bed bugs on her box spring. Her box spring had been torn open on the bottom. The corners of the corner guards along the box spring had been half hanging off. Now this woman, just to set the scenario, she's 80 plus years old. She's not taking her bed off the frame. She's not removing her bed. She's not flipping her mattress. She's not flipping her box spring. She's not doing this to her bed. So what happened was the company themselves actually sold her a used box spring, brought it in her house, set it up, and now she's got bed bugs crawling out everywhere. Now, when I called the company, because she had me call the company, I called the company while I was at her house, and I explained to them, I said, look, either you sold her a used box spring out of someone else's house, or the back of your moving truck is full of bed bugs. And he said, that's not true, because if my trucks had bed bugs in the back, all of my people would be going home with bed bugs. And I said, now, that's not true at all. I said, there are people who work in home health care. There are people that work at schools. There are people that work for public transportation, exterminators like me that go into houses that are infested with bed bugs, and we don't take them home. I said, it doesn't happen every time. Yes, we're at higher risk of bringing them home, but still, we don't all bring bed bugs home all at once. Not everybody that works at the hospital, because 1 or 2 bedrooms get bed bugs, all take them home at once. It just, you have to, the bed bug has to crawl on you, or you have to come in contact with the eggs. And so it's not as likely, but it's more likely than someone who, you know, isn't around someone with bed bugs. So, and that's what I tried to explain to him. I said, you know, that's what you've got to understand, is that your friend may not be getting bed bugs from you. They may not be taking them to their home at all. The more they visit, or the more you visit them, the more likely it is that you will. So if you haven't yet, I would get rid of your bug problem and then start revisiting. Don't go and take bed bugs to someone else's house before you've gotten rid of the problem.
And I should probably have him look for bed bugs at his house.
Oh yeah, I would have him
right?
look. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would look on any chairs in the living room, sofas, or mattresses. You know, they don't just live on the bed. They live around sofas and lazy boy recliners and stuff too. Check all his major
here's another
furniture.
one. Another wrinkle is about 5 weeks ago, you know, I knew I was going to be moving here. I ordered a new mattress for myself. to replace what I'm sleeping on here now. I'm not going to be using a box spring. It's just a new mattress, brand new. It's going to be delivered here, dropped off in front of the house, not brought in. So it's going to be arriving here in a week or so, a week or 10 days. And so what do you think about that?
Bringing in a new box spring? Is that what you said?
No, it's just a mattress. I'm going to be bringing in a brand new mattress to a house that has active bed bugs in it.
Treat it. Treat it before you
treat
bring
it before bring it in.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I tell everybody. Like, so this lady, I'm gonna have to go out and treat her house. There's no doubt about it, because last night when she slept in her spare bedroom, the bed bugs seeked her out, and now they're living on her other bed. Because I checked her house yesterday, I checked her spare bed yesterday. There was nothing on it. Last night there were bed bugs on it. So but the bedroom's right next door. In fact, it's the house. When you walk into the house, it's like they converted a dining room into a bedroom, and a front living room into a bedroom as well. So they join. It's like they're the joining room. And so the door is open between the two rooms, and the bedbug just walked right in and got on the other bed, because they were only maybe 5 feet apart, the beds. So, and they just walked right in and got on her new bed. And so she's like, I'm going to have to do it. It makes me sick, but I'm going to have to, have you come out and treat the house. But I said, whatever you do. So she's making them take back the bed because of what they've done. Obviously, she doesn't want the bed. She doesn't want the bed bugs in her house. She's making them take the bed back. The problem is now that they've spread in the house is going to need to be treated. So I have to go out there and treat her house for her. But I told her, buy a new bed first. Buy the new bed first, because she's going to get a new bed. Obviously, she needs a bed to sleep in. So she's going to buy a brand new bed. And after she gets the bed set up in her house, I'm going to come over and I'm going to treat the new bed and the house all at once. Rather than come out, treat the house, have to charge her a second fee to come all the way back out there and treat the house again when she gets the new bed. Just do it all one and done after she gets her new bed in there.
Okay, so, my new mattress is coming in a week to 10 days from now. So do I wait? I mean, I can spend the $39, do a treatment tomorrow or the next day. And then when the bed comes, aren't I going to have to spend another $39 just for the bed?
No. Well, I would probably just wait to mix until your bed gets there and just do it all at once. It's not going to be that different between 10 days. The thing is that bedbug eggs take 6 to 10 days to hatch. Nymphs take 6 to 10 days to bite you the first time. So you'll be fine waiting a week and a half. A week and a half. You'll be perfectly fine just to wait and treat then. And besides, you do have some bifenthrin, and not all bed bugs are immune to it. It does kill some. It just won't kill them all.
Okay. Remember I said that when I first was covered in bed bugs, I had stuffed a comforter that was full of bed bugs into a plastic bag and stuck it out in the front yard.
Now, are you wanting to save your comforter and use it?
No, I thought my friend was going to dispose of it, but it's still there now. So how should I dispose of that thing?
Just throw it in trash.
Okay.
Let the garbage man come pick it up. Throw it in a dumpster. That's all. They won't survive for long outside.
Okay.
What state did you say you're from?
California, and I moved to Arizona.
Oh, you're in Arizona. Well, they might be able to live a little while out in Arizona. I don't know. If you're closer to the desert, then they might not be able to survive at night, or they'll move really slowly, because the cold will slow bed bugs down to where they don't need to eat as often. You need a humid and a humid environment, a warm, humid environment like what's in a house. That's what make bed bugs want to really breed, is a warm, humid environment. And so, when they're indoors, they're much more likely to breed out of control than if they're outdoors, especially in a state like Arizona where it's more arid. So you don't have as much humidity in the air, so they're a lot slower to reproduce outside. It's not that they can't survive outside, they can, but you're probably not going to have a big problem with the bed bugs crawling out of the bag or anything like that, trying to, they'll move slower. They won't move as quickly.
Okay. So when I spray, is the idea is to spray into the cracks as opposed to just spraying into the cracks, and also spraying maybe a layer of 1 or 2 inches beyond the crack onto the floor so that there's more room for them to walk over it?
Cracks. No, you just need to spray the cracks and around the bed frame and the bed rails. And well, see, and that's another thing about this house I did my inspection on 2 days ago. There was no sign of bed bugs even on the bed rails themselves. And normally with someone with so many different stages of bed bug living on the box spring itself, you'll find them on the bed frame and everything. But then you said you brought the bed in from someone else. Someone gave you the bed, right?
Yeah, it was already there, but yeah. But it was there. It was put there after we bought the house. The house already had bed bugs in it.
Oh, I see.
So I think the bed bugs came from the house onto the mattress. I don't think the mattress the box spring had.
Right,
that wasn't
really
the source of the bed bugs. Yeah. So should I about outlets and light switch? Should I remove the covers and spray in there and the outlets? No,
don't even worry about that at all.
Okay.
So this is one of the good things about Crossfire. All right, the places that you treat your baseboards, you treat your bed frame, headboard, footboard, bed rails. You treat couches, love seats, lazy boy recliners. Okay, you treat around your window frame, your door jambs, and your window jambs. Okay, all around the pretty wood, you know. And then if you have crown molding, treat it. In fact, if you look up where the sheetrock joins the ceiling, if you look up at that crack and you see bed bugs up there, or even maybe a spider web up there where a spider has caught some bed bugs in her web, treat up there too. Just do it. Just do a light spray along the ceiling.
Oh, there's so many bed bugs up there. There's so much bed bug poop up in that area.
Then you need to spray.
You wouldn't believe it.
You need to absolutely spray. Yeah. Oh, I'd believe it. I would believe it. I've seen some nightmarish things, dude.
So also the drywall in there is unpainted. That's not an issue, is it? It's just raw drywall.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. All right, so when you spray, this is the thing about spraying Crossfire. And I have to say this is the thing about spraying any pesticide or any water on unpainted drywall. You need to be careful how you spray because you don't want to mess up your drywall because it's not, unless it's waterproof drywall, you need to be careful the way you spray along your drywall. And this is something that I have had to learn in my years of pest control because sometimes you go in a house and a house is under construction and they've got unfinished drywall. And if you spray it, you could mess up the drywall if you put too much chemical out. And so you want to kind of lightly mist the area. You don't want to spray to where you're soaking it down or anything like that. But you never want to really do that on anything. In fact, the label of Crossfire, even when it says like when you're spraying your mattress or when you spray your box springs or anything like that, it says you spray, but not until runoff. You don't want the chemical to saturate. That's not the goal. The goal is to just put a barrier there. The residual, it doesn't take much. In fact, when I go in people's houses and I treat their houses for general pest control or even bed bugs, they'll look right at you and they'll say, wow, it really doesn't take much, does it? And I'm like, no, it really doesn't. It's about the quantity, not the quantity, but the quality of the treatment. You put the chemical where the chemical needs to be, where the bugs are going to be, and then the bugs will just die. And you don't have to soak it down. Like some of these guys will go out and they'll power hose a house thinking, oh yeah, now they're not going to get any bugs. But they've never put anything in the cracks. And the cracks are where the bugs live. So it's really important to get into where they actually live. There's 3 things that you eliminate with bugs. You've got harborage, you've got food, and you've got water. Those 3 things is a trifecta. If you can eliminate any one of those things, all of your bugs will die. You can't eliminate them completely, but you can absolutely eliminate harborage to an extent. You can remove things from the room. You could take things out that aren't infested, take those and remove them from the situation, or treat the cracks where they're going to live. That's going to eliminate harborage too, because if they try to live there, they'll die. So, and you can't take away water because you're a human. You've got to live, and you can't take away food because you're the food. You're the food, so you can't remove that either. And actually, bed bugs get all of their hydration from blood anyhow. So you can't remove yourself from the situation long enough to starve them out. That's not even economical because you figure a year you'd have to be gone and leave it completely vacant, and maybe they'll all die by then.
Okay, speaking of Harbridge, I still have my boxes that I moved in laying all over the place. Is that a problem?
No. No. And it's the same question that I get asked almost every week, just phrased differently. People will say, well, what about my clothes? What about my closet? What about the stuff that's hanging in my closet? What about my collectibles? What about the stuff I can't spray, like my comic books or my baseball cards? You know, what about that stuff? And I keep a shoe box underneath my bed with like keepsakes and stuff in it. And I'm worried that bed bugs are in that stuff. What do? I can't spray that stuff. I can't heat treat that stuff. It'll ruin my precious belongings, you know? I had one guy call. He said he had a whole, like a shoebox, not a shoebox, but like a 3 times the width of a shoebox full of VHS tapes of old home movies that he had under his bed that he was worried bed bugs were in. You know, you can't spray those. You can't heat treat those. It would ruin them. And so I told him, I said, treat your bed. You're the food. You know, this is a question you have to ask. You always ask. It's a question that I ask myself when I walk into a house, and it doesn't matter if it's bed bugs, doesn't matter if it's ants, if it's cockroaches. I ask the question, where is the food? Because every bug wants food. Where is the food? Well, in a bed bug situation, it's you. You're the food. So where is the food? The food is spending its time on the bed. It's spending time in the couch. It's spending time on the chairs. It's spending time in those places at rest. And that's what bed bugs want. Bed bugs want food to be at rest. Otherwise, they won't crawl out and bite you. Unless you just have an overpopulation of bed bugs to the point where they're just everywhere. So what you do is when you're laying in the bed, that's where the food is. So you treat the mattress, you treat the box spring, you treat the headboard and the footboard and the bed rails and all the places they want to get to in order to get to the food. If you had cockroaches, you treat in the kitchen cabinets, you treat underneath the kitchen sink, you treat around water heaters and places where roaches are going to go because they want food, they want water, they want warmth. Those are the things they're attracted to. So you treat where the bugs are attracted and they'll die.
I have one of those Herman Miller office chairs, and I have like a foam pad on top where I sit, you know,
right.
for cushioning. I guess I need to spray my Herman Miller chair too, don't I?
I probably would. I did a lot of that during COVID when you go in people's houses and they're at home and they can't go to work or they can't leave the house or they can't go to the movie theater. They can't go anywhere because they're trapped at home. And I was actually finding bed bugs living on desk chairs. Now, that is not common. Like the chair, like this chair I'm sitting in right now, it's not very common to find bed bugs on an office chair because you're not really sitting there at rest. You're working, you're on your computer, you're playing a game. You're not really at rest. Now, if you were to sit down on the couch and watch a Netflix or something and sit there for a half hour, 45 minutes, oh yeah, the bugs will come out and they'll bite you because you're not really paying much attention. But when you're sitting at a desk doing work, a lot of times they just won't be there. Now, that doesn't mean they won't live nearby. They might live on your computer desk. They might live, you know, near the baseboards under the computer up next to the wall. You know, those are places they might live and then come out and bite you, maybe. But typically on the chair itself, usually desk chairs don't have bed bugs. That was actually a first for me, was finding them living in desk chairs.
But having like padding that I put on top of it, is that like a complicating factor?
You can take it off and inspect it. You know, the thing is I do that with mattresses too. When you take a lot of people will put those foam mattress pads on top of their mattress, and it'll be like a huge, big rectangle of like, you know, yellow foam. And you roll that thing up, you can inspect that for bed bugs. You can see if the bed bugs have been on it. You can see if their eggs are on it. And a lot of times, I mean, I treat it anyway, but honestly, sometimes I go in houses, I'm like, this is a waste of chemical spraying this thing, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway because it's part of the bed. But it's like there's no bed bugs living on it, and they don't usually like to be on it. In fact, on the top of your mattress, normally you will not find bed bugs. You will find them like around the seams and stuff like that, but on like the middle of the mattress where you lay, a lot of times you won't find bed bugs there at all.
Yeah. So I watched your video preparing a car for spraying, and you have one of those little portable vacuums. I have one of those. The question that comes up for me is, what if there are bed bugs in there, live ones, and I'm sucking it up in that little vacuum cleaner? Mine's a cheap one, kind of. Well, I guess it's okay. I just wonder, can't they crawl out of there, or how do I deal with that?
So in your vacuum cleaner, now I was really showing prep work on how to clean a vehicle because my vehicle's nasty. That's my car, by the way. I got kids. Actually, that car was so dirty because I had to go and throw away. It was some kind of, styrofoam, and it gets all those little white bubbles everywhere. It was all over my van. And I told my wife, I said, I'm not going to film this without cleaning this van first. Because if you get into your van or your car or whatever, and it's just messy, your chemical is not going to be where it needs to be. You need to clean up the dust. You need to clean up the dirt. You need to clean up the styrofoam pellets or whatever it is that's in your car, so that when you spray, you're actually treating the car and not the dirt. Because if you treat the dirt's going to get pulled away. It's going to get shifted around. It's going to move. It's going to get blown and stuff. And it's not going to be an area where you can actually treat and get the chemical to work effectively. So you need to clean really well. You need to vacuum your car. And it's not so much to vacuum the bed bugs, although if you do see a few, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do it. In fact, vacuums, when I have used vacuums for pest control in the past, I actually will spray a little aerosol back inside the tube in order to kill anything that I suck up in the vacuum. But you need to make sure it's properly filtered. You don't want to be, like I use pest control vacuums. They're different than, a standard vacuum you'd have in the house, like a shop vac or something like that, because you don't want to be blowing, pesticide into the air where you're going to breathe it either. Because, in a liquid form, it's not going to hurt you. But when you turn it into a gas and you blow it into the air, that's when it can become poisonous to you. In fact, I used to take my old vacuum and I would open it up and I would actually spray down inside the vacuum, let it sit, let it dry, and then I would use that vacuum to vacuum up bugs. So if the bugs got sucked in it, they would die, and you wouldn't have to worry about it being wet and possibly getting stirred up into the air. Because you don't really want to be that. The whole point is to kill your bugs and not be a danger to yourself.
Yeah. So I
no
went
bugs worth dying for.
Yeah. Before I saw your video on H&G sprayer, I went and bought one of those cheap garden ones. I'm a little bit hesitant to spend almost $400 on the H&G. Would the Smith Performance sprayer be sufficient for me, do you think?
So I don't know. I would have to look it up and take a look at it and see if it would work or not. The problem with plastic sprayers, I did a video just recently.
Well, I'm talking about the one from your Amazon store. There's
that one
you have on your store.
So I put that
$59.
There. Right. I put that there because I looked at it and I just looked at it through Amazon. I didn't actually have it in front of me looking at it. And I'm like, that would probably work the best. That would be the best thing that I would pick if I didn't have the knowledge that I have, or the knowledge that I do have. The sprayer that I would pick, I would probably just pick that one, because I looked at the tips and I was like, that would probably work. That would work to apply the chemical correctly. Okay. Be careful, because what will happen is, because of where the valve sits inside the wand itself, when you stop spraying, figure on it dripping out. So, because it holds all that liquid in the wand. And so when you let loose that little handle, the wand is going to empty out. So, because it's going to slowly drain out of the tube. And so if you lay it on the floor, it's going to run, whatever's left in the tube is going to lay all over the floor, and it's going to make a puddle. And so if you hold it right on your mattress, it'll just drain on the mattress and it won't drain in the floor. So don't make a mess. But otherwise, it would probably work just fine.
Okay, one last thing about my friend again, who is coming in and out. Is there anything we can do to mitigate the possibility of him?
This is what I do.
Spreading back and forth.
When I go in houses that are infested with bed bugs, the way that I do not bring them home. All right, this is what I do to avoid bringing them home. I wear booties. I try not to sit on people's furniture when I'm in their house. Sometimes you have to, but I sit on a dining room chair. I don't sit on a sofa. I don't sit on an easy chair or something like that. I sit on a dining room chair, typically a wooden chair or a metal folding chair. I don't get on, and although I've found bed bugs on metal folding chairs, those are usually safer bet. And so those are the ones I typically sit on. I don't sit on a chair that's commonly used by people in the house, because I don't want to transfer bed bugs to my home. When I get home, the first thing I do is I come straight in and I throw all of my clothes. I stand beside my washing machine. I disrobe. I put my clothes in the washing machine. I wash them immediately. Period. That's what I do. That's what I have always done for over 20 years. That's what I've always done. Every time I do a bedbug job, I save my bedbug jobs for last. Even if it's 2 jobs I got to do in a day, they're the last 2 stops. Because, you know, if I take a bedbug from bedbug A to bedbug B, it doesn't matter. But if I take a bedbug from bedbug A to spider customer, that's going to be a big issue. So I save my bedbug work for the end of the day. I do them last, and I go straight home, and I wash my stuff. I throw the booties away before I leave their house. I will ball them up with my gloves and my booties, and I toss them in their trash on my way out the door. That way, I don't worry about taking bedbugs home on my shoes. Bedbugs will hide in the cleats of your boots and your tennis shoes, and you know they will. And so even sandals. So don't accidentally take them home on your shoes or your clothing. And that works.
Okay.
24 years. I only did it once. I only brought them home one time in 24 years. And the one time that I brought them home was because I did not do what I just told you that I did every other time. It was the only time that I had never done that. And I ended up infesting my house with bed bugs. But I killed them with crossfire. I got rid of them. That was like a year and a half ago.
So I saw a bed bug on my comforter just an hour ago, and I threw the comforter in the dryer and put it on high for 35 minutes. Is that good enough?
That'll probably kill it. More than likely, that'll kill it.
Yeah.
The going rate is about 45 minutes to an hour. But if it was just the one and that's the only one that was on it, it'll probably die by itself. It's just to make sure. The reason you go 45 minutes to an hour is to ensure that the heat has permeated all throughout the covers and stuff.
Okay. Listen, I really, really, really appreciate your help.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you calling. You're helping a lot of people. You don't realize the questions you ask, and everybody can hear your questions. They hear your questions, and they hear my answers, and it helps more than just you. You're helping a lot of people just by calling. So thank you for having the testicular fortitude to call, because it takes some bravery just to do that.
Well, thank you so much.
Hey,
Can't thank you enough.
You have a great night. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
That was a lot of really good questions. That was a good call. But I've got a lot of stuff that people have asked me since I got on the phone. So do not use alcohol in your bedroom. Do not use alcohol on your mattress. Alcohol, while it evaporates incredibly quickly, and even if you're not a smoker, if you don't like matches, if you're not going to use fire in your room with the alcohol-soaked mattress, alcohol evaporating can cause brain damage, and it can cause cancers, and you do not want to breathe in the vapor of evaporating alcohol. It's not safe. It's not safe, period. It's not safe. So don't do that. Crossfire is much safer to use than alcohol. Much, much safer. I've never burned down a house using crossfire. But people have burned down their houses using alcohol to try to get rid of bed bugs. So, Terry, I'm not sure what you asked up here. It says, I have a mattress heating pad. Oh, yes. So you said it's brand new, never used, and have a bad back. Would I be able to use it next winter? So, oh yeah, you'll be able to use it. It doesn't take but a couple months to get rid of bed bugs. You could use it right after the bed bugs are dead. I wouldn't use it. Okay, so the problem is that not all pesticides can withstand high heat. So if you lay a mattress pad or a heating pad on top of your mattress, it creates a heating source there right on your mattress. Now, if you don't have any bed bugs living on your mattress and you've examined it and you haven't found any eggs, no bed bugs, no sign of bugs at all, then go ahead and put your heating pad on and use it. If you have a bad back, I know what it's like to have a bad back. I would totally use it. But treat your box spring. That way, if there's no bed bugs on the mattress, or there's no bed bugs living on the mattress, they still have to crawl over the box spring, the bottom layer, to get to the top layer. So if you treat your box spring and you're just very thorough on that, you probably won't have to worry about the bed bugs. Debbie says, how long should I reapply a treatment for bed bugs if I see less than them? I would go like once a month is typically all that I recommend treating for bed bugs. Okay, spray doesn't adhere well to covers. No, it doesn't. Kristen is pretty good advice. She's an exterminator, by the way, For those that don't know, Kristen HL in my chat, she's actually an exterminator that comes in every now and then and hangs out and answers questions when I get bogged down. How often should I apply Crossfire? 2 weeks, it probably, if you have a really heavy infestation, but once a month is all I ever do, even with heavy infestations. And I was joking with Audrey. She asked if is Crossfire poisoning, and I told her yes, and I died 3 times yesterday. That's not true. I'm alive. I'm not a ghost. Although, I don't know. Is Patrick Swayze hot, Alicia?
No.
No. See, even if I was a ghost like Patrick Swayze, my wife would not find me nearly as hot. So I am not a ghost. Oh, my couch. Where is the best place to spray your sofa, love seat, comforter, Crossfire? How long should I leave the room after treatment? You leave until it's dry. But you want to treat in all the cracks, all the crevices. Flip up your cushions if they come off. Treat down inside the couch, all around the edges. Everywhere you could possibly get. Turn your recliner upside down. Treat around the legs. Treat up under where the butt part is. Treat in the back part. Treat all the little boxes and stuff that form to create your recliner. Everything. Treat in it very, very well. If there's a crack, treat in it. Treat as much as you can get to. So, because chairs, recliners, and sofas are the hardest to treat. They're harder than a bed. Beds are pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Oh, let's see. Okay, so Audrey, it may just be what they're using. You know, some people do have reactions to pesticides. There are some pesticides out there, and it's not the chemical, it's not the thing that's killing the bug that makes people sick. A lot of times, it's the petroleum that's in the product. A lot of pesticides have petroleum in them, and they're not water-based. And if they're not water-based, the petroleum, the smell of the solvent in the pesticide, the petroleum, is what makes people sick. Makes them nauseated. Just like if you were in a room right after you had painted, and the smell of the paint evaporating can make you woozy, can make you nauseous, can make you sick to your stomach. So it's because of the petroleum that's in it, not the spray that's killing the bug. Do I have to leave the house when I spray Crossfire just until it's dry? What did you say about plastic sprayers? Okay, so the problem with plastic sprayers, like I said before, is that the wand that they have, so I showed it. Let me see. I wonder if I can just pull up that portion of the video. Let's see. Let's pull up a tab up here. So, on my YouTube, man, that's an awful picture. Let's see here. So just so you know, I've been doing, for those that don't know, this, here, let me do a close-up. This is Amber. Amber Heard. She is my bed bug. She's a bloodsucker, like other Amber Heards that we know. But this is Amber. Last week on my live stream, I let Amber bite me. And I have been monitoring my bed bug bite for the past week. So if you look at these videos, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. All right, all 6 days. I have day 7, and I haven't done day 8. I was going to do day 8 after the live stream tonight because the bite is still there. And I'm going to go ahead and do that after the live stream tonight. I'm going to film it and put it up for members. So members get access to these early, 2 days early. So this is actually 2 days ago. This is day 6, 2 days ago. So that's the most recent one up right now. But honestly, if you're going to watch any of them, you got to watch this one. This is the best one. But I did a video about pesticides. So let me see. I think it's this one right here on how to treat for bedbugs.
My daughter.
So I did we got to watch this
was
ad.
diagnosed with medulloblastoma. Lily lost the ability to walk, talk.
That's sad.
This video and all content on this channel is performed by a pest control professional.
It is.
And it is
Dollars
most of the time. And so when you compare that to check for mosquitoes.
All right, let's just see if I can go through. Okay, there we go. So here's the part about a B&G. Let's watch this together real quick. This will answer a lot of questions about sprayers. All right?
A B&G is a piece of professional equipment. It's what most technicians use if they come in your house, pest control technicians use. We don't use little plastic, $10 sprayers from Walmart, and I'll explain to you why. It's not to talk bad about little, $5, $10 sprayers. They're good for like a Roundup application in the yard or something like that. But the reason you don't want to use a plastic sprayer from Walmart is because the valve, the very tip of the wand, has a valve. That valve opens and shuts on a B&G. So when you pull the trigger of your handle, the tip of the B&G will spray the chemical. All right, you put your pressure in the tank, you squeeze the handle, sprayer sprays. Great, that's what we want. But what happens with a Walmart brand or any kind of little plastic, little cheap sprayer, the valve is actually in the handle, not in the tip of the wand. So when you squeeze that handle and then you spray your chemical, great, it's working. Now, when you let loose the handle, it's supposed to stop. It's supposed to stop spraying, so you're not spraying chemical everywhere all over the floor. But with a plastic sprayer, they don't stop. The reason they don't...
All right, so do you see, now I'm going to pause it right here just to show you. Do you see, this is where the valve is in a plastic sprayer. It's not in the tip. So when you let loose this handle right here, everything from here all the way to here is going to run out of the tip of that wand. That's what I was trying to explain to that one guy. This is what I try to explain about plastic sprayers and why I don't like them. So if you hold this down, like at your waist, like you're spraying, everything from here, gravity's going to pull that liquid right out and it's going to trickle right out the tip of that sprayer right there. Now a B&G, there's a cable in the handle that goes all the way down, and the pesticide actually runs right along that cable all the way down, and the cable goes to a little teeny tiny little thing right here that seals shut that tip. So when you pull that, you let loose that handle and it closes off, it actually closes the valve right here. So there's no long handle full of liquid that drains out of the end. So that's why I don't recommend these types of sprayers, because you'll make a mess. And like I was telling that guy on the phone, when you're spraying, just plan for that. Plan for that wand to dribble some out of the end, and make sure it dribbles out of the end where the chemical's supposed to be, rather than a puddle in the middle of your floor, and you're not making a mess. That's all. That's all you need to plan for. Kristen says B&G makes plastic sprayers, and they're good. I've never used a B&G plastic sprayer. I've considered it, but I've never used one myself. So I'm just going with what I know from my wife. She's got some plastic sprayers that we've used around here that I know people have bought and used with Crossfire to get rid of their bed bugs. And we bought one at Lowe's, and I think we bought one on Amazon, but we had them mixed with vinegar water to take down the stippled ceiling that we had upstairs. And they make a mess everywhere. They run all down. They run down your arm. Like if you're spraying up above head, they'll trickle all down your arm and get your sleeve all soaking wet. And I was telling her, I said, man, if this has got chemical in it, that would be horrible. It would soak all my clothes and everything. It would be awful. And it says right on the label, if you soak your clothing with a pesticide, you're supposed to throw it away. You can't even wash them. You got to throw them away. So let's see. Cluttered homes are very difficult to treat, but it's not impossible to kill bed bugs. It takes longer to treat them. So somebody had asked earlier about homes that were hoarder homes, where people hoard a lot of things. They're a lot harder to treat, but you just have to take your time and move things around and shift things around, but it can be done. Mr. Catfish, I'm sorry, I just getting to your question. He asked, is poison absolutely needed to eliminate fleas? Yeah, to be effective. Thank you for the $2 though, but he donated $2 and asked if poison is needed to eliminate fleas. So to use pesticide. Now, a lot of people, the problem with the word poison, okay, while a chemical a pesticide, is a poison. It poisons something, but the idea that it poisons you is uninformed. It's uninformed. I'm not going to say, ignorant, but, truthfully, it's because you don't understand how the chemical works on a mammal's body and how it works on an insect's body. Most pesticides are absorbed through the exoskeleton of an insect, and it kills them through different types of nervous system failure. And a lot of times it's a part of the nervous system that either mammals don't utilize or is so minuscule that you don't even register. It doesn't register and it won't kill you. For example, crossfire. Crossfire doesn't even have a signal word on the label. Caution, which is the mildest of the four. You have caution, warning, danger, poison, danger. Those words aren't even on Crossfire because the 5,000 parts per million or whatever that they have to test on mammals to deem it whether it's safe or non-toxic or whatever, they said, you know what, you can put caution on the label or you don't need a signal word at all. And so MGK voted to not put a signal word on it at all because it's a very safe pesticide. So not all pesticides are the same. Not all pesticides behave the same. Not all pesticides kill the same things. Now, if you were a flea, I would worry because it would probably kill you. But because you're a human, as long as you watch my videos and do what I say on my videos, you're not going to hurt yourself. The problem is that people go and they buy Walmart spray and they treat it like it's safe and it's not. And then they get sick and they wonder why they're sick. It's because they misapplied a chemical, didn't read the label properly, and they may just follow your labels. The label's the law. Like I said, on all my videos, it's on my setting up my stream. This video and all content on the channel is performed by a professional. Read the label. The label's the law. Follow the label. It's like, would you buy a piece of IKEA furniture and then take the instructions and shred them and throw them away? No. You're going to read the instructions so you can have a nice piece of furniture. If you buy a pesticide, read the label and apply per label. It's a nice pesticide. If you use it correctly, it'll work. So, Teresa says use the plastic sprayer from Walmart. It worked great. And see, some people will say that. I've had a lot of people say, yes, that I've used the plastic sprayer and it worked really great. I've had other people to tell me I used the plastic sprayer and it leaked all over the place and made a mess. So, the problem with plastic too, plastic is not as precise as a brass or a stainless steel type sprayer because you got to think it's machined. And a lot of machined plastic has extra little pieces of little melted, polyethylene in there, and it clogs up the tips. It won't spray correctly, or maybe it just doesn't go together right, or the threads aren't right, and it doesn't fit together as well as it should. That's not to say all of them are like that, but there are some in production that just mess up. I've never had a B&G that was bad. Never. Not once. I just had to buy a brand new B&G. I'm still waiting for it to come in the mail. But man, I understand. It hurts. It hurts buying that piece of equipment. It hurt me. But my son's working out now. We're both working in two separate directions, and so he needs equipment. He needs something good that'll last a long time. Now, I don't have clogging hardly ever on my B&G. Talking about clogging does happen even on B&G sprayers, but I mix really well. And they do have the screen in the handle that helps protect from a lot of trash getting into the wand and clogging up your screen. But I'll tell you what I do. I have a plastic, not a plastic, but I keep a nylon brush handy and other little pieces of like nylon that you can stick down in there and pull the trash out. Sometimes you do, but it doesn't happen as often as a plastic sprayer. You don't get the clogs near as much. At least I have never gotten the clogs that much. Did I see you saying that Crossfire can last up to 6 months on Discord? Okay. So Teresa's going to ask that question now. I guess it's time. It's 34 viewers. I think we got about all the people we're going to have in here tonight. Unless for some reason we get a boom of lots of people, which I don't see that happening because about 30 to 40 is what I get in a night. So, let's talk about what I did this week. Tuesday, I had to go in for recertification. Now, in Virginia, we are required by law to be recertified every 2 years to keep our pest control applicator license. So they have these people come in to keep our to keep our licenses legit, and they're all approved by the Department of Agriculture. So there was a man there, and I wish I could remember his name, but I'm horrible with names anyway. Unless I've met you several times, I'm just really bad with names. So his whole thing was bed bugs. So he talked about bed bugs, and he talked about ants. Those were the two things that he touched on. The bed bug class, or part of the class, lasted about 45 minutes. And he explained that when they invented Crossfire can last over 6 months when applied properly. It's 13 ounces of active ingredient. It can last up to 6 months. So I raised my hand. I'm like, excuse me. And he's like, yes. And I said, now you said that Crossfire can last up to 6 months. But why is it on the label that it says specifically on the label of Crossfire that it will not last past 28 days? And he said, that's because that's what the EPA required. He said, with the testing that they did and the things that they required them to do, that they deemed their 6-month test as invalid, and they had to go back and retest. That the 28 days was sufficient, and that they could either keep the 28 days on the license or on the pesticide, on the label, and get the product out to the public, or they could hold the product back from release, not release it to the public, and do the test again the way the EPA told them to do it, the way they wanted them to do it, and then they could put 6 months to a year on the label. So rather than wait to sell a product that they have all of these millions of dollars invested in testing and research, they just released it to the public at the 28-day on the label. So truthfully, Crossfire can last up to 6 months or longer when applied properly. Also, did you know that there is a pill that they are studying? This is studying. It's still under review. It's not, I don't even think it's really released to the general public yet, this information. But he was talking today about a study. So bed bugs have a symbiotic relationship with a symbiote. Now, a symbiote is like a parasite that lives inside the bed bug, but it helps the bed bug survive. So it doesn't hurt the bed bug. It's not a parasite in that it hurts the bed bug to kill it or to harm it. It actually uses the blood the bed bug ingests, turns the blood into vital vitamins that the bed bug needs to survive, and that's what allows the bed bug to get the nutrients it needs from your blood. This symbiote lives inside the bed bug's body. They have found that if they give human beings a certain medication, that when the bed bugs feed on a human's blood, the symbiote dies, thus killing the bed bug. So they have found a pill that they can prescribe to people that is, I think it's devoid of any real side effects at all, because it's very safe for human consumption. And it actually kills the symbiote and kills the bed bugs. And it's, but the only problem is with this medicine is that you have to let the bed bugs feed on you. And he looked right at all of us pest control technicians, and he's like, and good luck explaining to your customers that they have to be bait for bed bugs. And I raised my hand, and I'm like, guess what? Crossfire works that way. When you look at your customer and you say, in order for this pesticide to work, you have to lay there and let the bed bugs crawl out to you and you have to be bait, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So what you do is you put them on a ivermectin, is the medicine, by the way. You put them on an ivermectin pill, and then you treat the bed with Crossfire. Done. Done.
You get a quick knock
quick knockdown, and any bed bugs that don't die, bite the person and die. Ivermectin. Ivermectin, the pill that was so controversial during COVID, that is a parasite medicine. It's designed to kill parasites. That's what it does. Actually gets into a bedbug's bloodstream through your blood that the bedbug eats, your blood, and kills bedbugs.
That could be the answer we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. It can absolutely wipe out bedbugs. And look at the homeless. All right. The homeless that can't get away from bedbugs at all, that end up taking bedbugs into homeless shelters, Salvation Armies, Goodwill stores, and apartment buildings, they could easily get a prescription of ivermectin. Ivermectin is extremely inexpensive. It's very inexpensive. Now, it's not in this country because you have to have a prescription to get it, but there are other countries that give out ivermectin. You can just go to the store and buy it at the drugstore over the counter. But ivermectin actually kills the parasites that live, not the parasites, I'm sorry, I can't say parasite because it's not. It kills the symbiote inside the bedbug's body. And that's pretty amazing. So, and it's not a horse tranquilizer, Joe.
If that...
It's a dewormer. It kills parasites. That's what it does. It kills parasites, Joe. It's not a horse tranquilizer.
But I mean, if they could...
If it were a horse tranquilizer, you'd have a lot more drug addicts getting ivermectin.
This is probably the biggest news we've had since Crossfire for bedbug prevention.
Yeah, it's the biggest news we've had since Crossfire.
So in 10 years...
I will tell you what, there are people in my audience right now that are watching this video right now, 30 viewers, and all the people that are subscribed to me, almost 30,000 people that are subscribed to me, that if you tell them that if they take ivermectin, it would kill their bedbug infestation, they would absolutely take it. He laughed and he said, nobody's going to lay there and let bedbugs bite them. Some people don't have a choice. And if they know that eventually the bugs will die out, they would absolutely do it. In a heartbeat, they would do it.
Don't they have medication for lice and stuff like that you can take?
Yeah, they have medicine for lice, and the lice still have to bite you to die.
Right, and I mean, so I feel like it's going to become like a lice treatment where when you have bed bugs, yes, you can call the exterminator, but you're going to go to your doctor instead.
The problem is that ivermectin is so inexpensive that so here's one thing. Now let's put our tinfoil hat on for a minute. Let's talk about the pesticide industry, okay? Let's talk about who the pesticide industry is. The pesticide industry is run by the same people who produce ivermectin. A company is going to look at their bottom line and they're going to say, what's going to make me more money? Selling a pesticide to kill bed bugs over and over and over and over and over, or a pill that's going to eliminate the problem right now. So, what's going to make them more money? If they get rid of the bed bug problem, they're not going to be able to make money selling and producing pesticides because they're going to get rid of the bed bug problem if it's that effective. So that's where I wish they would, but we'll see what happens. Teresa says, in a heartbeat, I'd be the first and the last meal for those suckers. I could take it. I don't react. I don't react from bed bug bites. What is it? A spoiler alert for those videos I showed earlier? I don't react. But, so next week, for those that are watching tonight, next week, tune in because I'm going to feed Amber Heard again. My wife swears that this bed bug right here, that if I let her bite me again, that
most people don't have a reaction.
Yeah, most people don't react from any bugs the first time. Like even a bee sting or something, they may not even react from that the first time it happens, but it's the second, third, fourth time that they get the reaction. So I'm going to let my bed bug bite me next week, and we're going to track it again and see how things go. But I've been very disappointed that I don't have a bug bite on my arm. So, can you buy ivermectin over the counter? No.
Not in America.
Not in America, but most of any other country you can. If you go out of the country, you can. So, but they should. It's very safe. It wouldn't hurt you. Veterinarians buy it all the time, but
if they find out that it works through studies, that might solve some of the third world, second world problem with travel and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because if they find out that ivermectin works, see, one of the problems was we had pretty much eliminated bed bugs in this country in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We didn't really have bed bugs here anymore. But what happened is we had a boom of, I mean, we did have them. We did have bed bugs before. We used to have bed bugs, but we eliminated them. And then we had this boom in world travel, and we started bringing people in from third and second world countries, and even first world countries overseas where the bed bugs were still a problem, were coming in and bringing more bed bugs into the country. And so the bed bugs reinfested. In fact, they have no history. Here's a little bit of history lesson for you. In North America, there is no history of bed bugs at all in North America prior to colonization. And the way that they've proven this, the way that they say the reason this is because the Indians. So you have, and I say Indians as a broad spectrum, Native Americans. All right. In every language overseas, all European languages have a word for bedbug, but the Native Americans in North America don't. So there is no word to describe bedbugs or anything like that in the Native American tribes. No Native American tribe has a word that describes bedbug before the 1600s, and we started colonizing this side of the world. So, but there are stories on the Mayflower and the different boats and stuff that came over of people laying asleep at night on the boats being bitten by bedbugs. So that's how we believe they came to North America. They were never here prior to colonization. And if you were to give, third, second world countries ivermectin, which is actually given to people over there as a dewormer in order to help them with different parasites and stuff like that. It's actually a treatment here for lupus and different things, but hopefully it would open the doors for maybe elimination in worse part of the world, and hopefully with the pesticides we have here, eliminate them completely. So, but yes, ivermectin does kill heartworms. So somebody said ivermectin's in my dog's heartworm medication. Yes, it does kill heartworms.
It targets parasites.
I had ivermectin prescribed to me during the pandemic, Annie, and it saved my life. So, and I'm without a doubt. So. And I still had a bad reaction to the bites. Yes, well, they'll still bite you. They still bite you. It doesn't help with reaction. The point is that your blood gets ivermectin in it, and then what it does is it kills the parasite. But that takes time.
Dosing the bed bug with your prescription.
Right, you're dosing the bed bug with your prescription because ivermectin gets into your bloodstream. The bed bug then bites you, which then in turn poisons the bed bug. But it has to get enough. It has to get enough. But that's the thing. That's where he explained what he said. He didn't say a lot about the test because he didn't want to talk about it. But he explained that they are doing testing and they have found that ivermectin kills bed bugs. They don't know the dosing. It's still in testing. They're still in the process of testing it on different people and stuff like that anyway, because this is something you actually could ethically test on people, because you already know ivermectin's not going to hurt a person, and you can test it on a person and it's not going to hurt anybody. So they're still in testing right now, testing it on people to see how this can go in the future. But I was like, this is something I've got to tell you people because this is amazing, great news. And so I thought it was fantastic news, at least for the bedbug community. So I wanted to share it.
Take it out of our hands and put it into doctors.
Right. It takes it out of my hands and puts it in the doctor's hands. Let them handle the bed bugs, and let me kill cockroaches. Let me kill cockroaches and termites and fleas. Well, fleas I hate. I would rather fleas just disappear from the face of the world.
Now, if they could only get something like that for fleas.
Yeah. Yeah, they need something like that for fleas. If I never did another flea job again, I would not cry. It would not hurt my feelings. I hate flea work. Hate flea work. But I got this cool calendar. Let's show you this calendar I got. Let me show you this. It's pretty cool. Look at this. Ta-da! It's got bugs on it. Look at that. It's got fly. Well, that's a fly there. The fly there. They got a yellow jacket. They got a, what is that? What is that? A green beetle. They got a spider. Look at that spider. He's scary. An ant. Cool. They gave me that for free because it really advertised their business. But I like calendars, even though I haven't hung it yet because my calendar is on my computer and on my watch and everywhere else, and I don't really need one. But I think it looked cool because it got bugs on it. I like bugs. I like to kill bugs. How long would you need to take ivermectin? Did he give any info? No, he did not. He didn't explain. Yeah, Alicia's going to look it up. But it's something they're doing through the chemical company, so I don't really know. I really don't know much about it. He didn't really touch on it that much. So, he was really more talking about the history of bed bugs, and that's where I found out about the Native Americans and stuff and how they have no word in their language for bed bug or anything. So, it was very interesting. But you know me, I like bugs. I like to talk about bugs. So. So what's everybody going to do for the weekend? To switch gears. What y'all going to do? What y'all got planned? Y'all going to have fun? I don't know what we're going to do. What we going to do? We got to clean. I got to clean my house. We're doing spring cleaning. I went and my son... Where's Bob Ross? Where's Bob Ross? I just realized Bob Ross is not here. Where is my Bob Ross? Hold on.
So they did a 2019 study. Was a single dose of ivermectin was effective for 96 hours following.
So it only was effective for 96 hours.
At reducing the number of eggs laid per live adult.
So one single dose worked for 96 hours. So that's not very long. You would have to take it for a while to ensure all the bed bugs in your house die. That would not be fun. You would have to spray and take ivermectin. Kenji says audiobooks and PC gaming. PC Master Race. Yes. That's me. That's what I do. I play games. I've been playing, let's see, Raft, which is a pretty fun game where you basically survive on a raft and kill sharks. And then I've been playing World of Warcraft because I always play that. That's always fun. So I like to play games. I'm a gamer. I mean, if y'all don't know, this is Horde and this is Alliance. That's a Horde and that's Alliance. And the game is, where is it? World of Warcraft. Game of the Year. In 2004. Game of the Year. Because I'm old. Nearly 20 years. Nearly 20 years. I have a huge, heavy Stearns & Foster mattress. Those are good mattresses, though. That I can't budge by myself, and no one is going to help me move it because they're scared to get bed bugs and bring them home. Oh, yes, it tastes horrible. You're right. Jacques. Jacques of all trades. I like that name. So... But I am going to have to say goodnight. I have got to go. I'm going to have to get up early in the morning. I've got a WDI report I got to do first thing in the morning for a guy selling a house. And my hat has been crooked all night, and it really gets on my nerves. So if I like tell, I guess I'm like, is it symmetrical? I got a weird shaped head. So like see? Like my hair does this weird thing. Like am I balding? Alicia, am I going bald?
I think your peaks have gone a little bit deeper, but I don't think.
What
you're
y'all
actually
think?
going
Does
bald.
it look like I'm going bald? Let me be vain for a minute here. Look at that. I think I might be thinning just a little bit right there. What y'all think? Y'all think I'm going bald? I don't know. Maybe I am. I cut my hair short. When I let it grow out, there we go. Now I can be cool. See, now I look great. So, for some reason, I have small crystal that looks like your second picture. What second picture? What? Receding. They say I'm receding.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
that
you,
would probably be
Teresa.
the proper term.
Thank you. Receding hairline. So I might go bald. I might be a baldy before too long. You know what makes you lose the most hair is children. Emma, for those that don't know, turned 10 years old on the 27th. She's 10 now. My little bitty baby is 10 years old. Rory is 18. Kids growing up. But Charlie's still 4. And Finley's still 1, so I got a long ways to go. And Leisha wants to have another baby, so we might have another one before too long. Jacques says, by the way, our bug issue resolved by February. Have first bed bug treatment mid-December, a couple revisits, but done. Thanks for your help early on. Well, you are welcome. So, but I'm going to get on out of here, and you remind me of Kip when you did that thing with your hands. Kip? Who's Kip? I know that name. Who's Kip? Who's Kip? Get a pet. I don't want a pet. I have a pet. I have a pet. Oh, Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. One of my favorite movies. Kip. Am I like Kip, Alicia?
Are you like?
I can break the wrist.
Yeah.
I can break a wrist and walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Except my woman. Let me tell you about my woman. All right, I am different than Kip because my woman is, well, I guess she's got olive skin, but she is like 4'9.5". I mean, if I'm not careful, I trip over her in the mornings when I get out of bed. I mean, you can't see her. One time I went in the kitchen trying to find her and she was down stuck between the grout lines of the tile and the floor. She is so short, this woman. She has stools in the house. In order to clean out the cabinets, because she's been going through this spring cleaning thing, she told me today, she said, I'm going to need a stepladder and a good one if I'm going to clean those cabinets right. And I'm like, well, we got a 3-step ladder. We got a 3-step
It was
ladder.
about cleaning the cabinets. It was about getting up high above the cabinets.
She wants to get on top
to
of the
fix
cabinets.
some drywall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna need not a step ladder, but a really tall ladder, scaffolding, something.
You don't need a tall step ladder.
But we have a cathedral, a short cathedral ceiling. It's not as tall as most, but I'm 4'9".
Kenju says you need to keep your stools in the toilet. You know, your stool.
Okay.
Joe says you gotta hand it to short people. You do. You do. All the time. Every day. Because they can't reach it, he said. I knew the joke. Alright. I gotta stop talking and blabbing and get to bed because I gotta get some sleep tonight. Y'all have a real great night. I appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you next time. Let me see if I can get some music and play our way out of here. And we'll talk later.